Hi, I'm Chuck, KK6USY, and this is Ham Radio Ventures. Thank you for joining me today. Have you ever wanted to charge your battery just a little faster than, say, the battery manufacturer's charger? I think I have something you're going to like, so stick around and let's check this thing out. So one day I was looking at solar controllers for solar power, for your, that controls all the power coming into your batteries. And Victron is a very well-known name, and they make really, really good products. And I found out that they sell a battery charger. So here it is. It's the, let's see what it says here. It says IP65 waterproof, the Blue Smart Charger, 12 volt, 10 amps, from Victron Energy Blue Power. And here is a picture of it, just for size. Now, Victron has an app, and you can get that on your phone, either iPhone. I'm pretty sure it's good for Android also. And with this app will tell you everything about what's happening with your battery while it's charging. You can also set the parameters. You can set it for lithium. It pretty much does any kind of battery. It can do 3 amps or 10 amps. Now, where I wouldn't do 10 amps all the time, but when you need, say you're getting ready to go on your Parks on the Air and you have an hour and you're like, oh, I forgot to do my battery. Well, guess what? At 10 amps, it'll charge it a lot faster, and maybe you can get pretty much a full charge by the time you get ready to leave. Now, most of the time I would charge on the 3 amp, and most of your chargers for your batteries like the Bioennos and stuff like that are usually a 2 amp battery charger, and they take quite a while, even on like a 9 amp hour battery. I have a 30 and a 36 and a 20. It takes a long time to get those up. If I get to do it, I can actually put it on the 10 amps and do it a little bit faster. And I like every once in a while to vary my charging. I don't know if it does any good, but it makes me feel better. Now, the other thing is, if you're out, say you're on a 3 or 4 day weekend, say a long weekend, and you're doing POTA every day, or you're just on the radio, and most places you can run your generators till about 8 to 10, depending on where you're at. And a lot of times I'll run mine, especially in the wintertime, to get my motorhome warmed up with the heater, because the heater draws most of the power from your batteries. If you get it a little bit hotter than you want it for sleeping, and then it cools down, and then your heater only comes on a few times. But if you only have, say you're only going to be able to use your generator for 2 hours, then I put this thing on the 10 amp and get my batteries pumped up a little bit for the next day. So let me set this thing up so I can show you what comes with it, and then we'll show you the app also. Okay, so this is the charger itself. Very well made. It's plastic housing that's pretty sturdy. It says Victron Energy down here at the bottom, and their Blue Power is their logo. IP65 waterproof. You got your mode button. Your mode button switches between lithium ion, reconditioned, high, and normal voltage, 14.7 and 14.4. And then down at the bottom you have a test. We're going to actually test one out today. We'll hit the test button if I can figure that out. And then when it starts charging, you go into a bulk mode, and then you absorption mode, that's what ABS stands for, and then a float mode, and then it goes into a storage mode. Your float and your storage, basically the battery's already charged. The storage is if you're going to leave your battery hooked up for multiple days, weeks, whatever. I don't do that. I just charge my battery. Cheaper battery chargers that do, they say that you can leave them hooked up and it won't hurt your battery. I've seen those things boil batteries out anyhow. So I don't trust that stuff. Even on this one, I know this one's probably good. Victron makes very, very good stuff. Like I said before, very well respected in the solar community. Okay, so it has a plug to plug it into the wall. And for me, in the United States, it's 120, 110, 120. And at the other end, it has this plug here, which has a little catch here that plugs in. It only plug in one way, so you keep your positive and negative separate. And it came with 2 different types of fittings. The first one is just a regular battery clamps. And this is what I use most of the time right here. Pretty much it'll work on any battery that has any kind of connectors. And like I said, it has the end out here just like the other one. And then the other one it comes with is One you just hook it directly to the battery and hook it up. And I might do that on one of my projects here in the near future, just so it's easy. I can just plug in, don't have to do anything, and probably be outside the box that I have the batteries in. So just for a size comparison, I have a Bioenno, and I think this Bioenno is a 2 amp. Yep, it's 2 amps. It's a good charger. It works fine. Takes a little longer. And like I said, the smart charger is 10 amps or 3 amps, and I would always use 3 amps if I have plenty of time. And I also hope, guys, that it's getting a little windy here. I hope it's not affecting the audio. But so here's for size. So not a whole lot bigger as far as length as a Bioenno charger, but when you look at it on the side, it's definitely bigger, but pretty lightweight and made out of some feels like pretty solid plastic there. Let's hook this thing up. We'll check out the app. I have to hook it up to a battery, or otherwise the Bluetooth doesn't work. So I didn't tell you that before. It's Bluetooth to your phone app, the phone app that I was talking about. And unless it's hooked up, it doesn't send a signal out. So let me get it hooked up, and I will open the app, and we will look at the different settings in the app also. Okay, and always remember to check your manufacturer suggestion for how much amperage your battery can take for a charge. I'm mainly talking about your bigger, your 20 amp hours, 30 amp hours and bigger. So make sure you check that so you don't hurt your battery. Okay, so here's the app right here. I'll click on the app. I found it already. It's coming up to 80%. Okay, so now it shows that we're in a bulk charge there. Now it just went to absorption because this battery is not low. But let's go to settings up here. Okay, we can set, so it's set at a lithium ion. It's set at 3 amps. You can go to 10 amps by pushing that button there. And I'll go back to 3. I don't want to charge too much here. And then there's advanced settings here. Let me hit advanced, caution, okay. There we go. So battery preset is lithium ion. Expert mode, I don't do that because I'm not that good with this thing. I've had this for a while though. It's showing 13.5 volts. For expert mode, let's go to that. Okay. This is bulk. There we go. Recondition. Maximum recondition duration is an hour. You see at the bottom there. Absorption duration fixed. Absorption time 2 hours. Repeated every 7 days. That was if you have it hooked up all the time. And to let you guys know, I never have looked at the book on this thing at all. Now it's already up in the absorption rate there. I think we saw that already. So back out. Now we're absorption rate. Now it'll show a graph here also. And if you know how to read the graph, it shows you where your battery's at. And then it also will show you history. Now, because it's not hooked up all the time, these are just histories of different times I've charged things. Now on my solar controller, it is a 30-day history. Pretty cool. Lets you know what your battery started at, ended at, and what it took during the day. Here is the battery I have it connected to, and you can see it shows on this one, it's pretty easy to read, 14 volts, and then up here it's showing 14 volts. And that's where the battery is right now. Okay, so I can actually monitor on the battery also. All right, I hope this video was good for some of you guys, and you learned something like I did when I was just looking for something else and I found this. It's a really good charger. I would say it's probably one of the, I'll say for sure it's one of the best chargers I've ever owned, and I bet you it's one of the best on the market. Victron is a very well-known company, very well respected in the solar community, and for whatever they do. They make everything pretty much for solar. They actually make like inverters and stuff like that, and they're all high quality. They always get really good ratings, so I wouldn't be afraid to say this is probably one, if not the best chargers, especially for your lithium batteries, because that's what everything's kind of going to, and that's kind of what Victron specializes in. If this video was good for you guys, hit that like. It helps the algorithm a lot. It points my videos to people that have like views to you. And if you're new here, hit that bell, hit all. That way you'll get all my future videos. I'm Chuck, KK6USY for Ham Radio Ventures. Hope to catch you guys on the airwaves. 73 all.